what are the things mean to us, what we are looking. Okay, so that's what we are going to see today, and we will discuss more of a Talend product perspective. Then from tomorrow onwards, we will be discussing about the different types of components and their advantages and their functionalities and properties, etc. Okay. So what happens is either it's a open studio or it's a licensed version, you will be having the executable, okay, which you need to execute. Like when you are installing something, you will be having one wizard, right? Installation wizard, where you need to click OK, and select the path where you need to install and all. So similar way, when you get the open source version of the Talend into your desktop, you have to install it. So the installation, that the path that I have selected for the installation in the wizard is D program files, and this is the path. So if I go to D program files, generally C program files will be there, but out of curiosity I just created a folder with the program files in the D drive. Yeah. So this is the one which I have installed, which means like it is 6.0 version. Okay. And Talend Open Studio data integration. Okay. This is Windows version, either Windows 32 or 64. And this is the date on which I did the installation. Okay? Ashish, you're there, right? You're following, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Please stop me if you have any questions at any point of time. Yeah?
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Fine. So this is the studio. So once you install it, you'll be having all the DLLs, libraries, jar files which are coming from the Talend will be saved, because Talend's backend code is Java. Talend is developed using Java code. So what you need to have as a prerequisite in your desktop is that you need to have the Java installed and Talend installed. So the prerequisites have you installed Talend in your laptop or desktop, Ashish?
Oh, yes. Actually, I have Talend and TAT. Yeah, I do have both.
Okay, then no problem. Yeah. So Talend's backend code is Java. You need to have a Java runtime environment and Java development kit, which is JDK, to be installed on your laptop or desktop. If it is going to be the licensed version, then probably you will be getting one executable. So what happens is, when you install it, you will be having a folder created like this, in which you will be having application. The blue icons that are showing here are the applications. Okay, this is for Windows operating system 32 bit operating system, and this is for 64-bit operating system. So what I did is I just selected a shortcut on my desktop. This is Talend for data integration, Windows 64-bit. So as soon as you start opening it, you will be getting an option to select the project. Okay, basically what does it mean is, you can develop and you can work on multiple projects when working on Talend. Okay, but you will be having one option to select project, because to open a project you should open a project, that's it. Without opening a project you can't open Talend. Okay, so these are my existing projects. If you see here, I have some existing projects here. Okay, so I can select any of them, any one of them, and then click finish, then it will take me to that project. If I say create new project, then probably I have to give a name to the project and then create. That project will be coming here, and then I'll select finish, or create a demo project. Demo project is nothing but Talend will give you one demo project for explaining few of the things. You can select that one also. And you have import an existing project. That means Ashish has developed one project and I want to get that onto my system. Then I can import that by navigating to that particular path. Okay. and we have always ask me in startup. That means if you check this box in, you'll be always popped up with this window to select a project, and then you'll be having the choice. So what I'm going to do is I'll just select a project, and this is the one, and I'll say finish. But before that, I have on connection and manage connections. So manage connection is it will show like this in case of Open Studio. Okay, this is an Open Studio where you'll be having the workspace. Now what is workspace mean? Workspace means that is the place where whatever the things that you do in the Talend will save that one in a place called its workspace. So you simply developed a sample job. That information will be saved in that particular path which you are giving in the workspace. So workspace is a place where all your work is saved by the Talend. So this is the path that I have given. Let's go and see in the workspace what is there. I have D program files, and this is my studio, and here I have workspace folder. In this workspace folder, whatever that are being shown in the capital letter are my projects. These are all my projects. Okay, and this .java, .jet emitters and metadata are the things which are coming from the Talend. So I can say like these are the, what do you say, library files, or some of the jars, or some of the DLLs which we can't alter them. But here these folders are the projects which we have created. That means whatever the project that you create in Talend will be saved in the workspace as a folder name. If I try to open any of the folder, which means if I try to open any of the project, then I'll be seeing all this information. This information means Talend has splitted or categorized or arranged the code that you have developed in Talend into its own understandable way. Okay, so workspace will be having the projects names as folders, and if you go there, you can see the same folders anywhere. See, settings, business process, SVG, settings, business process, code components, context, code component. See, so that means Talend will organize the code that you have developed in its own way for its understandability. Any questions, Ashish?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. So
So
this is the workspace. Yeah, go ahead.
when you make the when you add the components from the palette, your like on your studio, where does it save this? What does it save all that Java code? Is it
It,
inside?
it won't uh, it won't save the job wise. It will save the project wise.
Okay, so this is one of the projects. So if you when you open the Talent Studio, like you will get your working area where you can add components from the palette. Where does it save those Java code?
Those will be saved here. Let us suppose I have a project that is created with the name. Let me go back. Okay, I have a project created with training underscore Talend. This is my project. Okay, in this project, say I have 5 or 6 jobs created. For example, those 5 and 6 jobs are saved in this one, but you can't really see the name of that job and all, because like I said, it will be splitted accordingly by Talend for its own understandable way, and it will be having that connection between those things.
Okay. So
If you
then
see here, you're going to
maybe
see these are the context variables that I have used in the job.
okay.
In this project, sorry, in this project. These are the different context groups that I have used at each and every different job. Those are saved in the combination of item and properties. Item and properties. Because that is for easy understanding of for Java or Talend.
What is
And
there anything inside
mhm.
code? Is there inside code?
Yes.
No, routes and stuff.
Is this clear now?
Yes, please go
Okay.
forward.
Yeah. So this is the project. So if I say manage connections, since this is a uh, Open Studio version, this information may or may not be required. But workspace I can select. You can change the workspace. Okay. When you change the workspace, the projects that you have created here will be opened in that workspace as well. Which I mean to say is, in order to open Talend, you need a project. Whatever the work that you do in Talend will be saved in the workspace. And you have the option of changing that workspace at any point of time. And coming to this window, we have this as local because this is an open studio where I have installed on my local machine. But if you install this as a licensed version, then you will be having the server name where you have installed the licensed version of the Talend. When I was explaining about the architecture, I was saying like you will be given one executable, you need to give the username and password so that you will be able to open the Talend Studio, right? So here it is user email, and in the licensed version under this field there will be another field called password. There you just need to give the password. And the connection is here, it's not going to be local, it's going to be remote. When you say that local and remote means it's nothing but licensed version of the Talend that you are dealing with.
Okay.
In this case, I am having Open Studio, that's why it is showing as local. When it's a licensed version, in the repository section, you will be having remote here. In addition to the local, you will be having another field called remote. When you select that, you just need to give the username, password, server information and say OK. Then it will establish the connection to that particular server where Talend has been installed. Then whatever the changes that you do in the studio will be saved into the SVN server with this connectivity.
Okay.
You got it right, or?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Because if you see, I'll just quickly open that PowerPoint presentation which I have shared so that it will be easily understandable. Yeah.
Yes. So you connect your Talend Studio to TAC, and then yeah, so TAC connects to the SVN, TAC connect to the database.
Yes. In the studio, this is the place where I was saying like you will be giving the username and password. Yeah. So when you are giving the username and password, then you are telling this component that you are a valid user. Okay. That means this relationship will be established. Then once this relationship is established, then this guy will take care of the things that you do here while writing the job or reading the job or updating the job or not. Okay. That means by giving the username and password in the studio, you're trying to establish a relationship with the server side of the architecture.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
So now let me try to open a project. I'll say finish. Since Talend has been developed in Java, what it's going to do is whenever you try to open the studio, it will get all the libraries, jar files, DLLs of Java into a compilation mode. Okay, so that is the reason it will be taking little time to open that studio for us to do the further development.
Okay.
So this is how the studio looks like, and if you see at the bottom here, generation engine initialization is in progress. Nothing but Java runtime environment is getting ready for you to execute whatever the changes that you are going to make here. So until this shows up, it's better not to open any job because the compilation is in progress, and opening any of the things from this one may cause a little delay in opening it. Yeah. Now you see the generation engine initialization is in progress has gone here. That means now you have the environment ready, which is actually used for the development of your jobs. You'll be having one welcome window. Just close this. Now if you see this one, I think you since you already have the studio, you might be having the idea about what is what, but still as part of my duty I'll be explaining everything once again. Ashish.
Okay.
So we have different areas here. If you see on the screen, this is repository section. This is called repository section, and this is development area, and this is palette, and this is outline parameters. This is outline, and on the side we have code viewer. Okay. And this is the area where we will define the properties of the components which we have used in the development area, and we will tell those components what to do in the execution. That also will be done here. Coming to the repository section, the repository we have business models, job designs, context, code, SQL templates, metadata, documentation, and recyclable. So what does it mean is, we will come to business model at the end. First let's start with job designs. Job designs is nothing but this is the place where you will have all your jobs that are created. That means if you want to create a job, say right click on the job designs, create job. If you say this, it's going to create a job for you. Unless you open a job, palette will not be visible to you. Okay, palette is a place from where you can drag and drop the components into the development area. Okay, so unless you open a job, this palette will not be visible to you since till the time it's going to be empty only. So now what happens is, I'll just right click and I'll say create job. It will open a job and palette will be visible. And I'll be also able to create a folder. Okay, and I can name this any name so that the folder will be shown here. Now if I want to create any jobs in this folder, I can do the same way, create job. Okay, and coming to job designs, we have, if you right click on the job designs, you will be able to create a job, but the job does not fall under these folders. That will fall here, somewhere here in the individual job section. Now create job, create folder. Expand and collapse is like minimizing and maximizing. And we have build job, import items and export items. So what does it mean? Import, build job, import items, export items. So what are these fields, what are these characteristics if you right click on a job, build job, import items and export items? So import items is nothing but, let us suppose Ashish developed a job. Okay, Ashish developed a job A, and he was asked to work on some other job. So Ashish will give me this job to me so that I will start working on this. In that case, what Ashish will do is he will export the items of the job. Export the items of the job. Items of the job is nothing but you are giving me the code part of the components. I'll explain it. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, first let me create a job. This is the job that I create. First job. As soon as I open a job, the palette will be visible. Now you see you are able to see the palette. So what I'm going to do is, there are two ways to get the components into development work area. You can search for that component, something like this. Then click here and click in the development area. That is one way. Another way is, if you are completely aware of the exact name of the component, then just type here. It will give you the component name. So now what I'm going to do is, I'll just print some message. Okay. Don't worry about this Java code. Okay. It's just a print statement.
I do know Java, sir.
Sorry? Yes, a little.
I do know Java, sir.
Oh, good. That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving a print statement. I'll just run this job. Okay. Just execute this job.
So with T-Java, you can run the Java code? Okay.
Yes. T-Java component is used to put some of the Java code in it. So I'm able to print the message, hello world, right? So now this is my job. Okay. Now what happens is, Ashish worked on this job and Govardhan has to continue working on the job. In that case, what I'm going to do is, if I say, right click here, export items. Export items means, if you see here in the designer, you have this component. If you go to the code section, this is the code that you have written now in Java. By using that component, you have written this much code. Okay. Now, export items, if I say export items on the job level, it's gonna export me this job only. If I say export items on the job designs, it's gonna export all the jobs in this job design section, including these jobs in the folders also. Okay. Now, export items means, when I say export items, what it's going to do is, it will export the items code from this job, so that I can import the job into my Talend Studio, and then after importing, when I say run or compilation, then what it will do is, it will have a connection established with the Java that I am having on my desktop. And build job is nothing but, build job means, if I say build job, right click on the job, build job. What does this build job means? You are taking the compiled version of the job, compiled code of the job, for either exporting or importing. So build job is nothing but compiled version of the, that means when you want to build job, you have to make sure that there are no errors in the job. Okay, compiled version. It is altogether, you are exporting the Java related stuff, Java supporting stuff also with your job. That is the build job. Export items or import items is nothing but you are just taking or exporting or importing the items of the job, so that whether they are imported into some other system, then it will establish a relationship with the underlying Java in his desktop or laptop. Is this clear, Ashish? Any questions?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay.
Build job
Cool.
is just using a Java compiler to convert the source code.
Yes, that means it's ready to execute code, build job. But export items is, you are not exporting the Java also. You're just exporting the items of the code. Items are nothing but the components and their relationships in the code. Yeah.
Yes.
So now what happens is, this is my job designs. So I just right clicked it here on the job designs. I have 6 items here, so which you are able to understand now. And let me do the same thing on the job. This is my job. I just right clicked on the job. I have open, and let me close this job first. Okay. Now right click on the job. I have edit job, which means either by double clicking this job or clicking edit job, I'll be able to open a job and I can edit that job. That is as simple as that. Edit job means you can do something on the job. Read job. Read job means you can just open the job in a read-only mode and you can't edit anything. Open another version. What does it mean is, open another version means you have a job on which you completed the development and next you got one change request as an example. So you are sensing that this change request may affect the other parts of the job. So in order to handle that, what are you going to do is, whatever the code that is working fantastic, you will not touch it. You will create another version of that job. Okay. So in this case, if you want to maintain another version of the job, just click on this create new version and open. If you check this box out, you can have these two buttons highlighted. See? Now you can, if you click on small m, it is after decimal, it will be increased, and if you click on capital M and before the decimal point, it will get increased. You are seeing, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is how you can have the version creation. Okay, and the next option is going to be open job hierarchy. Open job hierarchy means if you want to understand like what are the places that this job has been used, you can click this so that it will show you the hierarchy on the right side, but it will take little time. That's why I'm not able to show you right now. It will actually help you to identify where this job is being used in the flow. Let us suppose you have a big job and you just want to understand where this job is being used because you are a new guy to that project. So in that case, you can open job hierarchy. Yeah. And setup routine dependencies is nothing but you have some of the routines that have been created here in this routine section, code section. In the routine section, you have written some routines which are custom routines. And if you wanna import the routines into this job, then you can click on setup routine dependencies and select that one and say plus symbol. These are the user routines. Whatever the routines that you create in the code section will be shown here. And these are the system routines which are by default available in the Talend Studio. And then right click on here, edit properties. Edit properties nothing but you can just give the description, first name, name and description.
Can I ask
Go ahead.
you one question? So if I have a job and I have multiple, like a child job, so do I put the child job as a dependency for the parent job?
I didn't get your question.
So like I have a question about that dependency. It's like
That is routines only. No, that is routine. It's not about the job. Set up routine dependencies.
what is the difference between routine?
No, the routine dependencies means, set up routine dependencies means you are telling this job that I have used this routine somewhere, so when I execute you, don't get confused. Go and get that one from this routine section. That's what I'm telling by adding plus symbol.
Okay. So what is the difference between routine and the job?
Routine is nothing but it's a explicit Java code. You can write the Java code in the routines.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes there are some things which may not be possible through Talend, can be called by routines, where in the routines you can write the Java code and in the Java component you can just call the Java code. Okay. So now right clicking edit properties is nothing but just changing the name, purpose and the description, and you can change the version here also, by the way. See the author who has created this job and who logged it currently. And if you right click again, you'll be seeing delete, which deletes the job, and copy, which copies the job, and duplicate, you can have it same job, Control C, Control V, and run job is executing the job, and build job is what we have already seen. Generate doc as HTML, this is not required, just leave it. And export items is nothing but how do we export the items. That means the items of this job. Now, when you say delete, okay, this job will go and sit in the recycle bin. Okay, without prompting you, you want to delete this job or not, it will go and sit in the recycle bin. Now let me delete one job. Okay. Okay. Just a second. So I want to delete this job. I deleted the job that we have created and it will be available in the recycle bin. Okay. Now in the recycle bin, you can read the job from the recycle bin and you can delete forever. If you click on delete forever means it will be permanently deleted. And if you say restore, it will be going back and sitting in the same place from where it has been deleted. And export items is nothing but the same way. You are just exporting the items of the job. Items are nothing but the components and its internal code, but not the Java, the complete Java code in the compilation mode. So exporting items is nothing but exporting the items. So nothing you can do from here also. I'll just restore the job. That means it will go and sit in the same place from where I have deleted. Clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay. So this is the development area where we will be doing the development, and this is the palette from where you can get the components, drag and drop into development area. And this is the outline parameter. Outline parameters. See here, this is the outline. So you see, previously I'll just delete this. There's nothing in the outline. But if I have something here, you will see this one, right? So outline parameter is nothing but, let us suppose, I'll give you an example, Ashish, okay? So I told you, okay, over phone that Ashish, come straight, take left, then climb some steps, and I'll be there for you, waiting to discuss about something. So what you will do, you will follow the directions that I have given. You will come straight, then left, then right, then you will climb some steps, and you will be meeting me. Once you meet me, what I'm going to tell you is, how many steps did you climb? Okay. So if you have concentrated on that, you will say probably 4 or 5 steps. I just crossed those 5 and 4 steps. Staircase, I can say. Staircase, then I am available for you here to discuss. In the same way, I'm telling this component is now Ashish, and the developer is Govardhan. Okay. I'm telling this component, do this. Fine, it did it. Now I'm asking it, while doing it, what is this information? Suppose X information or A information. Then it will have, like, human tendency is we will be knowing about 1 or 2 steps or the things that we did, right? So that is how the components also will have some of the characteristics in them which will give us the additional information in addition to what we actually told them to perform. I told this component, just print the hello world message. Anything to this component apart from this. But what this component has in its characteristics is error message. That means if this component is failed, then it will tell me an error message when I use this. That means when I question you, Ashish, how many staircase you have followed? You will say 10. That means I'm asking you. In the same way, if I use this outline parameter, something like this, just drag and drop. So it will be able to give me the error message. That means outline parameters are nothing but the characteristics of those components which will give us some information other than what we told them to perform in the job. Is this clear?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, good. So some of the information that you can, I'll just take one component, okay? T file list, there is a component which we are going to discuss, okay? When I place here the component, you see, I got that one in the outline parameters. Now you see, it has this much information. That means when I use this component, boss, do this. It will do. It will definitely do what I say. While it is doing what I said, it will have this much information with it to tell me if I ask it. Okay, so I can ask it, asking it in the sense just dragging and dropping that variable here. That's it. It's just dragging and dropping. Okay, so that is the outline parameter section. Now coming to the code viewer. Code viewer is nothing but it will tell you the code that has been underlying in the using of this component. That means Talend has developed this component by writing some Java code. Talend has developed this component by writing some Java code. That Java code you can see here. Okay. That means what is this one and what is this one? That's what you can ask me. This code is the code of all the things, means job wise, but this code is nothing but this code is the code of this individual component. That is code viewer. Okay, and now we have this section. So this is the section. See here, designer is nothing but connecting the components with each other, and code is nothing but the underlying code that we have developed by connecting those components. And in this section we have job, context, component, and run job. Run job is nothing but running the job. Okay, you can just click on execute, and if you want to kill it some point of time, you can kill it, and once the job has been executed, then you can clear the console. This is called console area. Okay, if you say clear, the information that is displayed will be erased. This is basic run. In the job section we have basic run, and debug run is nothing but you can debug the job execution. That means, let's suppose you are processing 1000 records and you are suspecting, you have experienced an error at some record, but you are not sure about the record which is causing the failure by looking at the logs. In that case, what are you going to do is you will run the traces debug. Traces debug is nothing but it will print you the information here, okay, which record is failing. When we have a complete set of job, full-fledged job, then we will see this. Okay. For now, just understand that debug run is to run the job in a debug mode. Okay. Advanced settings. Advanced settings are nothing but this is like save job before execution. That means if you made a changes and if you directly click on run, the changes will be automatically saved. Statistics. The statistics, if I have checked the statistics, means you're telling this component that please hold off some statistics of your execution. I will use them. Okay. Clear before run is nothing but here again in the run, just clear, right? So I run the job. It will be printed information. When I click again and run, this will be cleared, right? And it will again print the message. That is what it is. And JVM parameters, these are related to the size, heap space, and memory size. We will discuss about this a little later. Okay. And coming to target execution, the target execution tab is only available with job server package. So it can't be shown in the Open Studio. We will discuss it when we are dealing with licensed version. And memory run is nothing but if you want to run the job in the memory itself. Okay.
Oh,
But we are not going to touch these things for now. What we concentrate is on the basic run. Okay. And we have the component. Component is nothing but where you will set up the things to that component, what it has to do, what this component should do. Here it is basic settings is nothing but the code. That means you are telling this component to execute the code that you have written here in the code area. And the advanced settings is nothing but advanced settings basic settings may vary from component to component based on their designated functionalities. In the advanced settings, if you have something like some new libraries or jars or routines to be imported externally, then you can import them here. Okay. And dynamic settings are nothing but dynamic settings. You can just leave it because this is not applicable for all the components. That's why this area is grayed out. And view section is nothing but you can just name this label. Here it is tjava. If I want to change this, I can say this to print message. So when I type here, it gets changed here, you see.
okay.
That is the view, and hint format and connection format are, these are by default, they will be like this, okay, no need to worry about them. Because it's like when you have connected this component with another component, then you can put the header for this job, what this sub job is doing. That information can be given here, and connection format is row. That is, you are just connecting. Don't get into that. You may get confused. And documentation is nothing but you can write some comments here, saying this job is used for this purpose or not. Then it will be useful for other folks to understand when they come newly. Yeah. This is context. Context is nothing but you can define some of the context variable here which are local to the job, or that context files can be coming from here. I will explain this with an example. Okay.
Okay.
And job is nothing but the ultimate what do you say, actual properties of the job. Okay. What is the job name? Who is the author? What is the version? What is the status? Okay. These things will be available in the licensed version. Okay. Extra is nothing but project settings. That means you can set up some project settings here, whether you want to get them applicable to this job also or not. And I'll explain about these things because it's too early now to discuss about this stuff. Yeah. So today what we have discussed is how to come to this screen. And the second thing is what we will get once we right click on the job designs, what we will get when we right click on the job level, and what is this palette about, what is this outline parameters about, what is this code viewer about, and the run and component section, and the context and job section we will discuss further detail. Yeah.
Okay.
And also we will see what are these sections, and then after that we will start into the components.
Okay.
Any questions, Ashish? You got some information today?
Yes, I got really some, like, I have some admin experience, but I don't have a lot of development experience with Talend, so this was very helpful.
Okay, that's cool. Happy to hear that. Okay, so let's continue tomorrow. We will have the classes going. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Ashish. Thank you. Have a
All right,
good night. Bye.
all right. Thank you so much, sir. Bye.